What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. Right now I'm going to talk about the new Netflix original movie, Orion and the Dark. All right, this movie was kind of a mixed bag for me. If I had to go positive or negative, I'm going to go positive on it, but let me explain what the negatives were as well. So, the movie is about Orion. He's afraid of everything. I actually love the beginning of this movie because it definitely did a great job of laying out who Orion was, what his anxieties were, and why he was the way that he was. And when they started laying out all of his anxieties, but the thing that he's afraid of the most is the dark, and then he starts cursing at the dark one night, and then Dark shows up and says, stop. Dark took it personally. And that's when the movie kind of went off the rails a little bit, is when Dark took Orion out and introduced him to all of his co-workers of the night. Sweet Dreams and Quiet and all these other characters. The beginning of this film felt so original to me. It felt so like they were going to do something that we hadn't seen before. And I was so invested in the first act of this film. And then we get into the second act when Dark takes Orion out, introduces him to all the coworkers. Chaos kind of ensues. Orion messes some things up and yeah. This whole part of the film felt very Inside Out-ish to me. It felt very, let's have characters, let's anthropomorphize things that happen around us. And like I said, it felt very much like Inside Out. And even the animation style felt very Inside Out. Now, I'm saying that, and I'm going to tell you the animation in this movie was beautiful. This is totally theater quality. Honestly, I'm not sure why this didn't go to the theaters, because this was a theater quality film. From the animation, the runtime, and the fact that they swung for the fences. And I got to give them credit, they swung for the fences. Not all of it worked for me, but man, they went for it. But like I said, where they went wrong was in that second act, when it was like Inside Out redo. It just felt very contrived, the second act did. And then the third act, it picked right back up. And I loved it. Man, the ending of this movie was so great. I'm not going to spoil the ending here, but it involves, Orion passing the story of him in darkness down to his daughter. His daughter not liking the story and deciding to change some of it. And then that story becoming 3 generations of tradition for this family. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And I loved that component of it. And at the very end of this movie, when you see Orion and Sally, years after the story, I'm trying not to spoil anything here. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything. But at the end of the movie, you see them years later. And kind of realizing the impact that this story has had on their family traditions. It was a beautiful moment, just an absolutely beautiful moment, and it wrapped this story up in such a nice bow that I have to give this story a positive review, because it stuck the ending so well that it gave you all the feelings that it wanted to give you. It gave you all those warm and fuzzy feelings that you wanted in a movie like this. So to recap, the first act, I was totally invested. The second act, it just felt very contrived, very been there, done that. The third act was beautiful. Absolutely great. The third act is the primary reason why I think this should have been a theatrical film. Wrap that up with the animation, this should have been theatrical. Positive review for Orion in the Dark. It wasn't perfect. And I haven't even watched any reviews for this. I don't know if it's getting positive reviews or negative reviews. This is totally an unbiased take on my part. First act was solid. Second act was weak. Third act was great. And leaves me with an overall good feeling about this movie. So Orion in the Dark. I would check it out. I wish we were checking it out in the theaters. So, I'm LQ. Subscribe to my channel. I love talking about geeky and nerdy stuff. So if you love talking about geeky and nerdy stuff, hit that subscribe button. And let me know in the comments below if you've seen this movie and what you thought of it. Like I said, I literally haven't heard anybody's take on it yet. So let me know your take and we can have a conversation. Guys, thanks for being here. Until next time, we'll see you later.